Hello, guys. Welcome back. So, yesterday somebody asked me a great question. I was going to answer it last night. And I wanted to talk to my gods first and go over how I feel and how they feel and go over world events. It's actually a super complicated answer now, though it's also super simple. I swear this will make sense. You know how I get. Somebody asked, what do you do with food offerings for Loki? That's actually a great question, especially now. What I do is with everything I make during the day, and I just do this so I never forget. It's automatic. I will offer it up, and it can be a few seconds. It doesn't have to be a big dramatic thing. When you first start, if you want to put it on the altar or like leave it sit somewhere for a couple seconds as you putter around, that's fine. But I offer it up for a few seconds. He can have his chance at it. Anyone else that is invited can have their chance at it, and then I consume it. It's what a lot of people do. You and the god share all the meals, or you share specific meals that you make for them. You offer it to them first, and then you share it. Benefits this has is that you bond. You really do bond with your god this way, and there's no worries about what you have to consider if you're going to be doing anything else with the offerings. Some people dispose of the offerings. They will put it in the trash if they have nowhere else. Now we have to consider you put that in the trash and you take it out to the curb. Are animals going to be attracted to it? And is it something that can harm animals? Anything from a cat to a dog to, a wild animal could get in there perceivably and eat it. It is something, to keep in mind. It's also a hard subject because we love our gods and we want to give them food. So some people go, okay, I'm not going to put it in the trash. I'm going to put it down the drain. We got a lovely letter here about all the stuff you can't put down your drain. Please stop doing this. You people are making fat burks. So you might have an ordinance somewhere where you live that you can't put stuff down the drain. I know this seems super intense, but it usually isn't. Stuff like coffee, wine, water, stuff like that would still probably be good to put down the drain, but no trying to take little bits of, steak and throw them down the trash compactor. You'll be helping yourself out too when you have a sewer system that works. Um, Other stuff to consider is some people go, okay, I'll take it outside and I'll bury it. That is where you also run into a little bit of problem. You can't, for one, you're introducing something that doesn't belong into the environment. And I never really understood all this until I started looking at what vegan pagans do and what other pagans that are really concerned for the environment do. You have the possibility, again, of poisoning an animal because it's something that's toxic to them in their system, or of poisoning the environment. Alcohol will kill damn near everything. Just so you're aware, again, it's a very touchy subject because we don't mean harm and we want to love our gods. And this is what our ancestors did for millennia. Well, our ancestors didn't have environmental sciences either. It's why, in a lot of areas now you will see signs posted on the beach because people used to traditionally take offerings to beaches and other places and that. And again, you have pest control is one thing that they don't want pests, gathering where you put food offerings. They don't want animals eating it that could get very sick. People will drop just damn near anything in a waterway or ocean or something, and sea turtles, fish, whatever can possibly consume that. And it's just especially now that we have the virus going around and we understand so far that it can live longer on some surfaces than others, you have to take in consideration, I could have it, you could have it. That's not to panic you. A lot of people can have it and have absolutely no symptoms, be fine, keep going to work, keep doing everything. We don't want to take the chance of spreading something we might be carrying, this now, something else in the future, and spreading it out to other people. So it's really a complicated question now because now that we have the COVID-19, you have to think of that. That has to actually kind of be the first thought to pop into your head. Is it safe for me to go out? Are there travel restrictions? Are we even allowed out of our houses? We're all allowed out of our houses, but you know what I mean. Am I going to have to travel somewhere? Is there a health alert? Is it a possibility of spreading anything if I put food out. Like if you get containers right now, I'm not trying to scare you, but you might as well know. It's recommended you take the food out of the containers with, kitchen utensils, throw the container away, and wash your hands. So just think of, not knowing the virus alert and taking that container and putting it out in a park, and another human comes by and they're like, "Oh, what a slob," and they put their hand on your container and they pick it up. Yeah, that's why I'm not like, if people are throwing trash in my yard right now, which people always do in the country because they think our yards magically clean themselves. I'm not picking their stuff up because I don't know. I don't know if that person has COVID-19 right now or not. So it's kind of a thing of we all have to protect each other right now, guys. As we're sheltering in place, we have to think of, yes, we still love our gods, we adore them. Alternatives that I've discussed with the gods before, and a lot of people have discussed, cook with them as we cook together. Donate food to a food pantry. You don't have to donate food like from your home if you are worried about, spreading anything. You can donate the money. They can go get food supplies that, they know are going to be safe. When all this is over and things are back to normal, considering hosting a potluck, feeding your friends is just as important as feeding our gods. And they want us to be good to each other. And the last thing is an economic thing. I know this is kind of boring, but it's actually a pretty complicated answer. If you do not have the money to put aside a special offering to the gods, they don't want you going hungry, especially now, guys, especially now where, like for example, I put a food order in. I will not see some of that food for a week or so. Luckily, we have supplies, but can you imagine, worst case scenario, you didn't have supplies and you wait until the last minute and you're waiting a week or so for food and you're down to Ritz crackers. The gods don't expect you to take out of what little you have and give to them. They love you very much and they can work miracles, but use common sense. If you're financially so well off that you could afford to go out and get steak potato meal and wine and cheese and everything and offer to them, consider paying for someone else's meal. Consider doing stuff like that until the duration is over, until, things get back to normal. And then, always go to your gods first and ask them what they want. If it feels like they truly, truly want you to put something outside, just consider safety guidelines. Don't put any garlic in it. That could, like, kill wildlife. It could kill foxes, a couple other kinds of animals. It could kill dogs or cats if they got into it. Not sure about possums. Don't put chocolate out for the same reason. We live in a society now where we have to consider, like if a neighbor's dog and cat are in your yard every day, that's why you don't put chocolate out as an offering. That's why you don't put cocoa hulls out in your flower beds because you want them, yeah, but that stupid neighbor and their stupid dog. Sometimes we have to use restraint and, we have to think of other people and it might not be fair. It might be something where in an ideal world, the neighbor would keep the dog and the cat and everything in their yard. But hey, the world is what it is and we have to adapt to it. Loki especially would not want us hurting animals or doing anything maliciously. Back in the day, I got to admit, we all did the same horrible thing. We put food offerings everywhere, but we didn't have COVID-19 back here and either. And we put like foreign objects out in the environment. Oh my God, some of that stuff we used to do. We don't do that anymore. So I hope that helped, guys. You can feel free to disagree with me. I'm sure especially some heathens are still absolutely hardline about you absolutely have to do this or the gods will starve to death. If that is your sacred belief, you can do it. Just be aware of, the environment. Be aware of other people. Be aware that, especially if you're doing it in a park or woods, if you could get there, so can other humans. Keep that as a guideline. Other humans can get there, possibly children or animals can get there. So, just keep some safety measures and thoughtfulness to others in mind, and we can still serve the gods and still give them food. A lovely Greek tradition is burning the offerings. We may all be becoming Greek, just, for health reasons. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.